Hello, everybody, again. Picking up on, without to remember, we had ended on we were in Second Chronicles, which is a lot of this historical naming of names and so did this and did that. So if you want to just read through Second Chronicles, similar to Second King to Kings, just this historical stuff, as most of this stuff is, and that's this far back in the Old Testament. Going through different kings and how they misbehaved, and some here and there did behave. But you'll notice in reading them that back when Israel was Israel and Judah, they took their turns being bad boys and girls, turning away from God again and again and again and again. As you read in this most recent message, countless times, basically countless chances mankind has had, not just God's people, we're all God's people, but His chosen people, Hebrews, spread out to all mankind, this chance after chance after chance, countless times, individual levels. We've all been guilty of turning away from Him for selfish reasons or weak reasons or whatever, difficult times. So nobody's innocent of it. But people's in mass, in general, is what Chronicles and Kings lays out to us, and to remind us that, hey, we're not a heck of a lot different today than we were back then as people. And how people, when get in power and authority, they're the most easily corrupted. The more you gain in fame, fortune, power, the more corrupt you get. Plain and simple. And they were doing things that you complain like Hamas does, and I'm not pro-Hamas in the least, or pro-Palestine, because not all the people, but the leaders and the ones that control things in power are evil. But so are our leaders. So are leaders of most all countries and companies. They're evil. So they were speaking of Abijah. The other events of his reign, what he did and said, are written in the annotations of the prophet Edo. These are other books that find him great. He's rested with us, buried with his ancestors. Asa, his son, succeeded him as king, and in his days the country was at peace for 10 years. Pretty good. Asa did what was good and right in the eyes of the Lord, his God. He removed the foreign altars and the high places, smashed the sacred stones, and cut down the Asherah poles. He commanded Judah to seek the Lord, the God of their ancestors, and to obey his laws and commands. He removed the high places and incense altars in every town in Judah, and the kingdom was at peace under him. He built up the fortified cities of Judah since the land was at peace. No one was at war with him during those years, for the Lord gave him rest. So it was this constant, just look at our country, back and forth. One political power, one person in power, another one, and then it changes back. They undo everything the other one did, and then next it changes over hands again. They undo what the other one did, and back and forth. There's nothing new under the sun, which Ecclesiastes tells us. Nothing is new under the sun. Let us build up these towns, he said to Judah, and put walls around them with towers, gates, and bars. The land is still ours because we have sought the Lord our God. We sought him, and he has given us rest on every side. So they built and prospered. Asa had an army of 300,000 men. The numbers are staggering that they mention in these battles and fighting soldiers, warriors. Like, I don't know where they got them all from. They weren't full-time. A lot of them were just shepherds, farmers. He had an army of 300,000 men from Judah, equipped with large shields and with spears, and 280,000 from Benjamin, armed with small shields and with bows. All these were brave fighting men, so they very fertile people back then. Zerah the Cushite marched out against them with an army of thousands. Cush would be south of Ethiopia. Marched out against them with an army of thousands upon thousands and 300 chariots. They came from through Egypt and up through the Sinai. Long way. Came as far as Marasha. Asa went out to meet him, and they took up battle positions in the valley of Zephatha near Marashah. Then Asa called to the Lord his God and said, Lord, there is no one like you to help the powerless against the mighty. Help us, Lord, our God. We rely on you, and in your name we have come against this vast army. Lord, you are our God. Do not let mere mortals prevail against you. Psalm 18. Let's read Psalm 18. Mentions this type of stuff. Nobody can do it alone. We're not designed to do it alone. Anything. The Lord struck down the Cushites before Asa and Judah. The Cushites fled, and Asa and his army pursued them as far as Gerar. And you can look up these place names, Google them, and you might find out exactly where they're at. Such a great number of Cushites fell that they could not recover. They were crushed before the Lord and his forces. The men of Judah carried off a large amount of plunder. They destroyed all the villages around Gerar, for the terror of the Lord had fallen on them. They looted all these villages, since there was much plunder there. They also attacked the camps of the herders and carried off droves of sheep and goats and camels. Then they returned to Jerusalem. So, similar stuff that's going on today, not just in that part of the world, but throughout the world. Chapter 15. The Spirit of God came on Azariah, son of Oded. He went out to meet Asa, and said to him, Listen to me, Asa and all Judah and Benjamin. The Lord is with you when you are with him. If you seek him, he will be found by you. But if you forsake him, he will forsake you. For a long time, just don't turn to God when you need or want something. Talk to him all the time. For a long time, Israel was without the true God, without a priest to teach, and without the law. But in their distress, they turned to the Lord, the God of Israel, and sought him, and he was found by them. Yeah, they always turned to him when things get too unbearable. In those days, it was not safe to travel about, for all the inhabitants of the lands were in great turmoil. One nation was being crushed by another, one city by another, because God was troubling them with every kind of distress. Sound familiar? But as for you, be strong and do not give up, for your work will be rewarded. When Asa heard these words, in the prophecy of Azariah, son of Oded the prophet, he took courage. He removed the detestable idols from the whole land of Judah and Benjamin, from the towns he had captured in the hills of Ephraim. He repaired the altar of the Lord that was in front of the portico of the Lord's temple. Then he assembled all Judah and Benjamin, the people from Ephraim, Manasseh, and Simeon, who had settled among them, for large numbers had come over to him from Israel when they saw that the Lord his God was with him. They assembled at Jerusalem in the 3rd month of the 15th year of his reign. At that time they sacrificed to the Lord 700 head of cattle and 7,000 sheep and goats from the plunder they had brought back. God doesn't want that anymore. Everything belongs to him, so offering up blood of animals, offering up animals, offering up food, offering money, everything's his. That's not what he wants. He wants what is not his, which belongs to you, within you. Your love, your honor, respect, your devotion, your obedience, your time, your heart, body, spirit, soul, every ounce of your being, your burdens. These are what he wants. They're solely yours. They entered into a covenant, all the plunder they brought back. They entered into a covenant to seek the Lord, the God of their ancestors, with all their heart and soul. All who would not seek the Lord, the God of Israel, were to be put to death, whether small or great, man or woman. Read the last message just posted. They took an oath to the Lord with loud acclamation, with shouting and with trumpets and horns. All Judah rejoiced about the oath because they had sworn it wholeheartedly. They sought God eagerly, and he was found by them. So the Lord gave them rest on every side. All that Hamas did to Israel, others have done to Israel, other countries done to countries. God had Israelites, when we took the land back from Canaanites, people that dwelt in the land of Canaan, and the Philistines, they butchered them, every man, woman, child, and animal, as God told them to do. God tell Palestinians to do that to the Israelites today? No. God doesn't work that way anymore. Yes, he will destroy, but he has weapons, he has things. He uses the dark, he battles the darkness, but he also allows darkness and uses darkness as a tool, as showed us, as we were shown in Job, as we were shown in the Garden of Eden. God has many methods, many things at his disposal. But everybody has a free will choice. Because I said that God instructed them to butcher and destroy. No. That ended. Jesus Christ redid everything. We did everything. But as I mentioned here, and in Psalms, and these messages, mankind's had all those chances. Now it's talk to the hand. Talk to the hand, just like at the time of the great flood. Talk to the hand. He's turned to God, turn away from him, then don't turn, then you'll be turn back and talking to the hand. Time is so very short for those who will have the opportunity to turn away from the devil, from darkness, and turn to the light. Time's running out. So the rest they sought God eagerly, and he was found by them, so the Lord gave them rest on every side. King Asa also deposed his grandmother Maacah from her position as queen mother because she had made a repulsive image for the worship of Asherah. Asa cut it down, broke it up, and burned it in the Kidron Valley. Although he did not remove the high places from Israel, Asa's heart was fully committed to the Lord all his life. He brought into the temple the God of silver, brought into the temple of God the silver and gold and the articles that he and his father had dedicated. There was no more war until the 35th year of Asa's reign. God has no need of gold and silver anymore. He doesn't need these things. It's all his. In the 36th year of Asa's reign, Baasha, king of Israel, went up against Judah and fortified Ramah to prevent anyone from leaving or entering the territory of Asa, king of Judah. Asa then took the silver and gold out of the treasuries of the Lord's temple and of his own palace and sent it to Ben-Hadad, king of Aram, who was ruling in Damascus. Let there be a treaty between me and you, he said, as there was between my father and your father. See, I am sending you silver and gold. Now break your treaty with Baasha, king of Israel, so he would withdraw from you. So he's basically bribing a foreign king to help him with the king of Israel, who is Hebrew as well. Remember, Israel and Judah were two separate kingdoms for a long time. Ben-Hadad agreed with King Asa and sent the commanders of his forces against the towns of Israel. They conquered numerous towns and cities of the Naphtali. Then Baasha heard this. He stopped building Ramah and abandoned his work. Then King Asa brought all the men of Judah, and they carried away from Ramah the stones and timber Baasha had been using. With them he built up Geba and Mizpah. And Judah is north Israel is south. At that time Hanani the seer came to Asa king of Judah and said to him, because you relied on the king of Aram and not on the Lord your God, the army of the king of Aram has escaped from your hand. Were not the Cushites and Libyans a mighty army with great numbers of chariots and horsemen? Yet when you relied on the Lord, he delivered them into your hand. For the eyes of the Lord range throughout the earth to strengthen those whose hearts are fully committed to him. You have done a foolish thing, and from now on you will be at war. Because he turned from God, relied on somebody else, and not on God himself. Asa was angry with the seer because of this. He was so enraged they put him in prison. At the same time, he brutally oppressed some of the people. The events of Asa's reign from beginning to end are written in the book of the kings of Judah and Israel. In the 39th year of his reign, he was afflicted with a disease in his feet. I know all about that. Though his disease was severe, even in his illness, he did not seek help from the Lord, but only from the physicians. That thing ailed me. It's just dragging on. I just asked for help, and it's taken care of. Sometimes right away, sometimes over time, but it's taken care of. Though his disease was severe, even in his illness he did not seek help from the Lord, but only from the physicians. Then in the 41st year of his reign he died and rested with his ancestors. They buried him in the tomb that he had cut out for himself in the city of David. They laid him on a bier covered with spices and various blended perfumes, and they made a huge fire in his honor. So he was a good king, but he didn't totally rely. He turned from God at some moments when he shouldn't have. God is here to help us. It's like you're here to help your family, your friends, your relatives, your children. He's our Father. He's here to help us. We turn from him, rely on ourselves or somebody else. We've rejected him. That's not a good thing. Don't do it. So that's it. We'll pick up on number 17 with Jehoshaphat, his son. So stay safe day by day. Keep in contact with him. Be careful. Don't get sucked into the craziness that's out there, because it's going to get worse. Peace of Christ. God bless. Word of the Lord. Praise Lord Jesus Christ.